Hello guys. So today I'm going to be discussing on something different. So some of my friends, even some members in Youth Empower Voice, they even whenever they want to join, if I ask them that, oh, why do you want to join this platform, they will say, oh, they are interested in leadership, they're interested in leadership. And this leadership of a team is far beyond having just title or having just position. To me, I will say that leadership is influence. Leadership has to do with influence. Now, before I start, let me give you the brief definition of what leadership is. So, leadership is the ability to influence. Leadership is the ability to inspire. Leadership is the ability to guide yourself and other people through a meaningful purpose or direction. So leadership has to do with influence. And when we're talking of influence is the ability whereby you are being able to influence, you are being able to affect, you are being able to positively affect someone's behavior, how someone acts, how someone behaves through your own way of life. That's what they call the influence. Not the way you are behaving, maybe the way you used to do your things. Maybe you are someone with self-discipline and people keep on saying you, they love the way you are doing, they love your way of life. And through that process, now starts copying you, now starts behaving like the way you do. So in that process, you're already influencing you're already influencing them. So leadership has to do with influence, the ability to influence, the ability to inspire, the ability inspire has to do with motivation. So motivate them, ability to inspire and ability to guide them or guide yourself and guide them through a meaningful purpose or goals. Now let me start. So that's what they call leadership. Leadership is the ability to influence, to inspire, to guide yourself and other people through a meaningful purpose or goal. So that is about leadership. Now let me now start on these points on leadership. Number one says, leadership starts with self. Let me come again. It says, leadership starts with self. So before you can lead others, before you can lead other people, you must first lead yourself. So there are some things you need to put in place before you can be able to lead yourself. There are some things you need to learn. Number one thing is that there's something you need to control. Number one is your emotional control, self-discipline, responsibility, time management. Let me add one more thing, integrity also. So these are some things that you have to put in place if you want to be a good leader. Leadership starts with self, and that part they are talking about self-leadership, and these are things that you have to put in place: integrity, responsibility, time management, self-discipline. Self-discipline. Now let me just briefly talk about emotional control and this self-discipline, integrity, and time management. Now when we're talking of emotion has to do with your fear. It has to do with fear, anger, excitement, frustration. So you must, as a leader, as someone who wants to become a leader, you must learn on controlling all these things. You can be in a public place whereby you might be feeling scared or all those kind of things. Fear, in terms of fear, you must learn how to control that your fear. Sometimes someone might upset you and you might feel, you might be angry. So you must learn to control your anger. You must learn to control your excitement as a leader. Sometimes you can be happy, something might happen and you might be happy. There are some things that you, as a leader, you must not speak out. You understand? So you must learn in controlling all these things as a leader, as someone who wants to be a leader. And also, we also have time management. The process whereby you are being able to manage your time. There's a phrase that says that you can't manage time. No one can manage time, but you can just manage yourself within time. So learn on managing yourself, managing your time. As someone who wants to become a leader, you can just give yourself, you can just, plan. Like everyone now knew that everybody has 24 hours a day. And under that 24 hours a day, I think we have 1,440 minutes. Yeah, I think so, or 1,446 minutes. So you can say, okay, if you wake up by tomorrow, you can just start. As someone wants to become a leader, by tomorrow, I will make sure I wake up by 5 a.m. in the morning. So to pray, those kind of things. Try to plan your day. As someone wants to become a leader, that is what they call time management. Make sure that a day didn't go without you doing something meaningful. Time management. Self-leadership. Leadership starts with self. Someone who wants to lead other people must first learn on how to lead yourself. Where I talk about the emotional control, integrity. Integrity is when you are doing the right thing at the right time, even when nobody is watching you. Integrity also has a lot to do in terms of leadership. Integrity, self-discipline, emotional control, responsibility, the process where you'll be able to accept duties, responsibility, and time management. Let me continue. So, the second one says, leadership is not position. Now, let me give you an example. Now, someone might be given a position as a class representative. As a class representative, in this case of leadership is not about position, it's not position. You can be given a position or a title, and still not be able to influence anybody in your surroundings. But someone who is not even given any position, who is not even given any title, might be able to influence many people in that surroundings. Do you understand? So leadership is not position. Leadership is not position. Let me continue. The next one now says, leadership is service. Let me come again. It says, leadership is service. A good leadership is not about being served. No. Leadership is not about some people serving you. Leadership is when you are serving people, when you yourself, who is that leader, is serving other people. That's what they call leadership. So if you want to become a leader, be expecting that knowing yourself that you are ready to serve people, not that people is ready to serve you. As a good leader, you must be ready to serve people. And there are some questions that a leader used to ask. Now, leader will ask that, how can I help people grow? These are some of the questions that a leader asks. How can I create impact? How can I make others better? These are the questions that a leader asks. How they can make good impacts, how they can make people grow, how they can make others better. Those are some of the questions that a leader asks, and leadership is service. The last one also says that leadership requires vision. So as a leader, you must know where you are going. You must know yourself, the kind of future you are trying to create. Do you understand? That's what they call a leader. So a leader is far beyond just having a position, it's far beyond just having a title. A leadership must have all these things in them. They must have been able to learn all these things that I mentioned so far: integrity, self-discipline, responsibility, time management. As a leader, as someone who wants to become a leader, you must have all these characteristics in yourself. Do you understand? As a leader. So that's what they call leadership. Leadership is the ability to influence, ability to inspire, ability to guide yourself and other people through a meaningful purpose or goal. That's what they call leader. In short, leadership. Leadership is influence.